Here we are on the western coast of Tenerife, just down from Los Gigantes at the small resort of La Arena. Here we are at the northern end of the main road. I'll take you down to the beach, along the promenade and back, then back onto the main road to take a look at the restaurants and shopping. Across the road are 2 restaurants, a pharmacy and 2 supermarkets. On our right, this shop sells clothes, cosmetics, toiletries, jewellery, perfume and souvenirs. We got a few bits in there and it's quite reasonably priced. La Arena is a peaceful resort. There are only a couple of hotels, along with a few apartment blocks for self-catering and some villas. So if you are self-catering, there are actually quite a few supermarkets around here. We went to this one here, the Suma. They do have British products here that you're familiar with. They're expensive, but they're here. Back outside, and next to the supermarket is the entrance to our hotel, Landmar Playa de La Arena. If you would like to take a look at that hotel, my video review is on the channel. It's only a couple of minutes walk from that hotel down to the beach, but I'll speed things up to get to the interesting bits. And here's another little shop. This one sells ice creams, beachwear and clothing. You can even get buckets and spades for the kids. The main shopping area and restaurants are on the other side of the road and adjacent to the beach, but we'll see those later. First we'll whiz down this little side road and take a look at the beach. Already we're passing a couple of restaurants. I like the look of this one. This tiling looks lovely. Ahead of us is the cove with the black sandy beach, but before we take a good look at that, let's whiz along to the end of the prom and see what there is down there. Well, the promenade is nice and clean and tidy and wide. And up ahead of us is a restaurant. Let's have a quick look at that. This is the Neptuno restaurant, which does takeaway as well as dine-in. It specialises in fish, but it does do other meats, pizzas and pastas. It has 3.3 review on Google. The reports are a little mixed, especially on service, but the pictures of the food do look good and it is very cheap. And here we are at the end of the promenade. The sea's looking a little rough today. Well, some people are enjoying the rough conditions. There are quite a few surfboarders out there. Well, this one's doing rather well. Oh, spoke too soon. And we'll double back on ourselves and take a look at the bay and the beach. There are lots of rock pools with crabs down there. And there's the beach, a natural black sandy one with a lifeguard, showers, and toilets. There is a little decking walkway as well, so it is wheelchair accessible. Apparently there is a steep drop off into the sea and a bit of an undertow, so maybe stick to paddling unless you're a very strong swimmer. It looks reasonably busy out there today. It is quite warm, but apparently it never gets as crowded as the more popular beaches on the island, so that's a plus point. The showers and toilets are in that little white building at the top right of the picture at the moment. I believe the charge to use the toilets is 20 cents. Coming up on our left, where the moped is the little side street that we came down. And we're just coming up to the restaurant, the pan show. And this one gets a 4.2 on TripAdvisor. Seating areas do look nice. Let's speed up a bit and get back onto the seafront. Access at the northern end of the beach is via these steps, but on the southern end there's a ramp for if you've got a wheelchair or a pram. It's quite nice up here, being on level with the top of the palm trees. It's a very warm day, but as it's Tenerife, there's a nice breeze blowing, so it does make it a little cooler, thankfully. Across the road are all the shops and arcades and things, and we'll have a closer look at those when we're on our way back down. This is interesting, a billboard for the HiperDino supermarket, which is just at the end of this road, up the slight hill and on your left, a meal deal, €4.30. Handy for getting a sandwich, drink and a snack to take to the beach, rather than visiting a restaurant. Here you can see the decking on the sand to help with accessibility. Here we have a seating area, and just to point out that all this parking along the edge of the road is free of charge, which is nice. At this point we are over the toilets and showers for the beach. Also underneath us is La Serena, a small beachside restaurant, 3.7 on Google, but there are lots of rave reviews on there, so maybe worth a try. The beach looks lovely and clean, and there are parasols and sunbeds for hire. And here's another billboard for you self-caterers, 4 minutes drive away, a Lidl. Open on Sundays too. And here's a postbox. Does anyone send a postcard anymore? Let me know in the comments. And here is the entrance to the sloped path down to the beach. Oh, that's good to see. The disabled parking is right next to the sloped path. We'll just whiz along up here until we get to the zebra crossing, as this road is quite busy. Just across the crossing we come to Bombay Babu, an Indian tandoori restaurant. This one gets 4.6 on Google reviews. And next door is the HiperDino Express supermarket, handy for getting some crisps, sandwiches and some ice creams for lunch when you're on the beach. If you're out here with a family, eating out all the time really adds up. Here we have the Sony shop. This does electricals, things like camera gear, headphones, sunglasses, that type of thing. Oasis Rent-A-Car. And here we have a souvenir shop that also sells beachwear, hats, bags, that sort of thing. And I must say the prices around here are not too bad. And as you can see, there's quite a lot here. Here we have an Italian restaurant, La Gaviota, 4.4 on Google reviews. Having read through the reviews, I'm surprised that that score isn't a little higher, as they were all raving about the food and the service in there. Here we have another touristy shop. They all seem to sell similar things, but they are very well stocked, quite a variety of items for sale. And here we have an estate agent, luxury homes. For luxury, read expensive. And then we have the Shalimar Jewellers, jewellery and watches. This place gets a 5 out of 5 on Google reviews. Here we have another tourist shop, the usual wares, but these are quite nice. Fly animals, $7.90, $11.90. Those are quite fun. I like the turtle one. And this shop is closed today. It's a general store and market. And next to that, this is handy, a bank and a couple of ATM machines. And next door to the ATMs is this Skechers shop. These things are absolutely everywhere. They are quite popular. I'm wearing a pair today. And here is the taxi rank. And this is nice to see. An indication of how much it costs to go to all the different places. And a QR code, so you can get it on your phone as well. And here we have the Blue Martini restaurants. Quite an extensive menu here. 4.3 on Google reviews, but lots of rave reviews on there. And here we have a casino, a few games on the outside, and the serious gaming must be behind those doors, and there's a cash machine. I doubt they've got any of those tuppence fulls machines. Those are my favourite, but I always limit myself to £1. The house always wins. Here we have Casa Pepe, a Mediterranean restaurant, 4.4 on Google reviews. Above it is Domingo Restaurant, another Mediterranean one, 4.5 on TripAdvisor. Next to that is an Asian restaurant, Palilos de Ora, 4.5 on Google reviews. The lower floor is all tourist type shops and a sportswear outlet shop. Next to that is Pepe's, which is supposed to be a pub and restaurant, 4.5 on TripAdvisor, but some very mixed reviews. Next to that is Bilanzera, 4.2 on Google reviews, lovely ice cream and a coffee for just €2. Highland Paddy, which used to be a disco and live music, is now for sale, and that's now a tourist shop. Back on the upper floor is a Spanish restaurant, La Quinta, with a very respectable 4.7 on Google reviews and rave reviews on there. On the lower floor, the Blarney Stone Bar has closed, and that's now again a tourist shop. On the upper floor is somewhere where you can get a massage and beauty treatments. Let's take a look at the price list. Oh, that's very reasonable. €20 for a 10-minute foot massage and 10 minutes having your feet nibbled by fish. On the floor here we have La Ola, a pub, 4.2 on Google reviews, but I don't know how it got that. The latest reviews are terrible. On the top we have El Gourmet, a pizza restaurant, 4.5 on Google reviews. Apparently very cheap and very good quality food, great big portions. Below that is Inna's Cafe, 4.5 on TripAdvisor. And here we have an ATM. Well, that's all the restaurants and shops along the front. And just across the road are the steps down to the north end of the beach. Well, that concludes our little walk around La Arena. As you can see, there's plenty of shops, ATMs and restaurants. There are no rowdy bars or nightclubs here. It is a quiet resort. I hope you found this video helpful. We hired a car for a few days to visit attractions around the island. I will be posting videos of our visit to a cheese factory, the stepped pyramids, Loro Park and dolphin and whale watching. If those are of interest, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those tours. Thanks for watching.